Thank you so much for having me here today at the CRN Channel Summit 2021. Good morning to everyone. We begin day two today. I think day one was pretty engaging and a lot of insights on what is happening around the domain, around the industry. What I'm here to talk about is how the business is getting redefined. In our domain of technology, in the last 1.5 years, we've seen a tremendous onslaught of way the business has adopted digitalization, the way business has adopted technology. And this is the era where we have seen that business people or companies which were ready to adopt technology soon or were able to change their entire business go-to-market along with technology have flourished. Look at the amount of unicorns we have created as India in the last 1 year. It is just unbelievable. What it says is that consumption economies are here to stay. Technology will be the apex of all the consumption. And as you call the millennials, Gen Z, the next gens, they are the ones who are going to be the biggest target audience and target markets. What we are seeing in India again is the tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. Because of this onslaught of technology, because of this whole virtual way of working, we have seen really some unbelievable consumption in those cities, in those places. Again, with the initiatives of Indian government around BharatNet, around the various initiatives where we are seeing internet reach the last mile, right? The Zilla Parishards to the Panchayats. And as we go forward, I think the entire India is going to connect it into one platform. Before we get into redefining as to what is happening in our channel space, I would really like to get this one example out. And I think it's one of the biggest game changers that India has done or the entire technology domain has done. Let's look at Arogya Setu as an app, right? Look at that platform. From the time it started, probably 1.5 years back to today, it has become the single source of truth. It is completely automated. It is 2-3 clicks to get to your end result. Right from whether you are COVID positive, negative, right from your reports getting updated to your vaccination, to the vaccination slot number 2, near your PIN code, near your residence, going and getting the vaccination. And post-vaccination, getting that certificate, which is now globally recognized. It's a great feat. But what actually happens underlying to it, you just look at the digitalization. In 1.5 years, we have connected close to 500 million people on one platform, which is opaque, but at the same time, extremely transparent from an end user perspective. Now we can look at what kind of exponential things that you can do from that platform. That one platform can become the source of truth for the real next integration, be it driving license, be it Aadhaar, be it your electric bills, it can be any of that. What it shows is digitalization is going to be the way forward and the game changer. If you look at the entire system integration industry, look at all of us today, some of us are into infrastructure, some of us are into applications, some do cloud, some do security, or people like us who are a complete cloud to table to cloud integrator. What we've seen is technology consumption has just taken a complete U-turn. Technologies which we thought would take 2 or 3 years to come and go to market have actually got fast-tracked and have become the reality today. And technologies where we betted big are some things which look passé right now. So what is important is to change with time. Reskilling has become a big challenge, right? All of us are struggling today, to either retain talent or to reskill talent or to really get talent with the kind of demands the customers are putting in. Born in the cloud companies, right? Most of us were predominantly typical system integrators on-prem and partly on cloud. But when we compete with the born in the cloud companies, it's a different ballgame altogether. It's a different skill set, it's a different technology adoption, it's a different conversation. So business is getting extremely agile, extremely technology-oriented, skill-oriented, and the whole go-to-market is getting redefined. I think in the next 2 years, hybrid is going to be the way forward. And we will see equal consumption either on cloud or on-prem. And a lot of system integrators really have to now thread that path where we have multi-skills or we are able to deliver solutions which are across the platforms. Work from home is a real new definition. Look at this, right? We, in a CRM leadership summit, at least 2 years back, I always remember it was face to face. We were all together in a swanky five-star hotel, having coffee, drinks, conversing. And right now we are just virtual. I don't even know who my audience is. But the beauty about this is I reach to so many, right? At one time, there was a restriction in the physical world. You could do to 50, 100, 200, 500. But today, you can have n number of viewers without really being there physically. So the game is changing. And what is happening in this game-changing world is that resilience for us is going to be extremely important. It's resilience, but more than resilience, I would say relevance. Today, a lot of us who were growing exponentially till about 2 years back, but who didn't change the model of business, found it tough to really go forward. Again, top lines are increasing, consumption is increasing, but where the pressure is on bottom line. Where the pressure is on the services you can deliver. Where the pressure is whether really we are understanding what the customer needs. And everyone is coming to outcome-based solutions. So relevance becomes extremely important. And today, outcome-based solutions is what customers are looking for. And honestly, with the dynamics of business changing so fast, so are the outcomes, so are the goalposts. It is extremely important how we as system integrators or as we as a channel community really realign the entire business strategies. The days are gone where we would sell the boxes and do some services around it and come back and think of ourselves as winners. Honestly, yes, that model would probably remain, but you will have huge pressures on margin, huge pressures on how are you going to make the whole business profitable. Already, all of us in the channel domain are struggling with cash flow issues, margin issues, and more we are seeing that as the OEM increase their foot on street, right, that much more control goes into them than having the control into us. The only way we can control our business or we can control our outcome is we build capability internally, where we should be very, very clear how we run a customer relationship, how we understand his business, how we really look at the business dynamics that they are trying to achieve. Because a lot of customers themselves don't know how the business is going to shape up in the next 6, 9, or 10, 12 months. Some of them have just hit the roof and some of them have just slowed down. But we are seeing a great revival. We are seeing, as they say, a revenge comeback, or we are seeing great revival consumption. So it's extremely important for us to really now deal with more with business side than just look at IT alone. And that is very important. Even I think all of us are struggling. And again, it's very easy to say that you look at business side, you look at how technology consumption is going to change the business. But the reality is that the faster we do it, the sooner we do it, the more relevant we can be in the market, the more things we can achieve with our customers. And of course, we can do projects or we can deliver technology-oriented projects which will change the way the customer looks at his own business. In all of this, what is happening is the whole environment where we are saying that we're going to be hybridly working from home, right? We are saying a lot of jobs will never ever come back to office. Again, believe me, a lot of customers we've seen who had built fortresses in their offices, right? Everything centralized in their data center, and then really swanky offices with multi-layer authentication, security to get in, get out, mobile devices not allowed, cameras not allowed, so on and so forth. To a point where a year and a half back, everything changed to they connecting from home, connecting from the weakest location, connecting from unknown sources. There was a real nightmare for most of these companies because they really didn't know how to secure themselves before they could give access to these people into their core environment. What we saw is a lot of hacks, a lot of ransomware attacks. We've seen identity proofing, password being compromised. We've seen all kinds of man-in-the-middle attack. And in the last 1.5 years, cybersecurity has been probably at its worst in terms of the compromises but at its peak in terms of the consumption. So from a business point of view, I think cybersecurity has been at its apex. Again, I always give this example that if you pick up the Gartner report of 2020 Jan, the top 10 technologies that they slated, or the Foresters, or whoever you follow, you look at what came out in October, the top 10 technologies, from them, probably 2 or 3 were common, 8 were new entrants. What we see now again in the 2021, most of them have again changed. Because first it was a period where it said we would be working from home for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Now it looks like a lot of organizations will probably work from home forever. So what it has done is that it has changed the game. It has made how you make the edge the most powerful. How do you get the zero trust environments? How do you create digital identities of every employee, every individual that works with you? Or in a B2C environment, how do you know your consumer more and more? Passwordless authentication, biometric-based authentication. We are talking about multi-factor authentication, various type of zero trust environments. The entire game is fast evolving and fast changing. And as we go forward, you will see that the entire technology adoption will be around how do I create a digital identity for my workforce, or for my consumer force, or for my B2C, B2B, and how do I give them access into my environment? How do I content broker what they're using? How do I ensure the right information is reaching the right individual? At the same time, while we do all of this, give them the same convenience of connection or logging in that they had when they were working from office. It's a big challenge. And getting that organized is becoming even more tougher. But I think in the next 1 year, we will see the whole technology stack evolve here, adoption evolve here, and we will see that most of the organizations will be investing a lot more in cybersecurity than they have ever invested. In all of this, what is playing a bigger role from a CIO is the CDO, the Chief Digital Officer. I'm sure all of us have been talking about how digital officers will make the change, how digital officers will make the decision. But in the last 1.5 years, we've seen that they are actually front-ending, running, and they are the ones who are calling the shots on what technology adoption should happen. So it's extremely important, again, for us as a channel community, is how do we engage with those digital officers? How we have those conversations with them, because it's not now about what technology you will use. It is not about which product you will buy, but it is about how can I change the game in the way they do business? How can I help them using technology get incremental revenue? How can I help them using technology reach out to more and more consumers, more and more customers? And of course, last but not the least, how can I use technology to make a level of secured connectivity? So that is going to be a big game changer. So again, what will happen is we need to reskill first us as entrepreneurs or head of businesses or CEOs or whoever running the business lines. We need to first reorient ourselves, learn and unlearn ourselves and go to market. Then the most important aspect in this is how do you reskill your entire workforce? While you're reskilling the workforce, the bigger challenge that comes in, how do you retain your workforce? Because I think there's genuinely a shortage of talent. There's genuinely a shortage of right talent. And with the kind of salary escalations, expectations people are having these days, it's practically impossible to run a business with that kind of salaries. So it's important how we get the new breed in, how do we get management trainees in, how we get juniors in, who we train, who we really put them into a programmatic approach so that they are ready as our workforce for the needs for tomorrow. And again, believe me, these millennials or Gen Z, what you call them, are extremely, extremely agile. They are really looking to adopt new technology. And the way they think is extremely different than what people think. Like I always give an example, at least for my cloud business, that if I look at my existing technology stack and I look at my existing people, I'm very, very clear that these people can never reshape themselves to really deliver the kind of cloud solutions or outcomes the customers are needing. it needs a fresh breed, it needs a fresh thought process, and it needs a different skill altogether. So we're working on that, but again, as a channel community, it is a tough one. And we need to now pick which battles we want to fight, because that entire game has got split into PaaS, IaaS, then with application, there's SecOps, there's DevOps, and containerization, and now we're talking about so many other things in silos. Now, can you still build skill sets across that? Probably not. It's extremely difficult. But yes, you can pick some areas and say, this is where I'm going to put my bet, I'm going to build my capability, I'm going to build my skills, and really then go to market with those capabilities. And competition or coexistence or partnering with each other then becomes extremely important. So I build a few skills, I transparently partner with the other people who build other skills, and together we can go to market with our customers. Because I guess even customers understood that there is no one-stop shop. There is no one partner which can deliver it all. There are gems. Every partner has some capabilities. Every company has certain skill sets. It's time of how we collaborate and integrate, and then we give solutions to the customers. Again, in all of this, my last closing thoughts would be that the game is changing, and it is changing much faster than we anticipated. COVID has just fast-tracked everything else that we thought of. And relevance, resilience, redefining your businesses. I'm sure you've heard a lot of these terminologies, but it's about how do you really introspect first? How do you do a SWOT and come out with your strengths? And, as they say, play on your strengths, right? So it's very important how you come out with your strengths. You decide these are the core areas of business I want to work in, but this is the areas I want to really go after, right? Again, before anything else, I think the OT-IT integration. What is happening today is the way operational technology and IT technologies are integrating. There's a completely new plethora of solutions, plethora of technology expectation. The stack is changing, and a lot of customers are looking again from intrinsic net that all of that should be provided by one partner. So, coming back to my point, let's pick the jewels that we have, which hone the skills which you are best at, retain those people, go to market to our customers saying that this is what we can deliver. Then we partner with, in the fraternity, everyone who's hearing, everyone has a different skill set, has a different technology experience, and has a very different capability internally. How do we transparently partner and go and give outcome-based solutions to our customers? If we can't do that, believe me, the more we compete, the more we drain, the more existence will become difficult. So collaborative approach is extremely important. And again, the theme within our organization this year is collaborate to innovate. And believe me, we've done some projects which on our own we could have never delivered, but then we collaborate with different partners, with different OEMs. We took a lot of services from smaller partners, but today, when I look back, and I look back at my customer, the customer's happy. All of us have made money in the bargain. See, we have built cross capabilities which we would have never been able to do on our own. And that actually changed the game. So from me, I think it's very important. All of us should work with a very open mind. We should really look at how in 2 years the whole stack again is going to change and how things are going to be different. Technology adoption, consumption, experiential technologies, outcome-based solutions, all of that is reality. How can we partner with customers to change the way they do their business, or how we can be a true facilitator to increase their penetration to their customer base, or increase more transparency within their ecosystem, give them a secure way to access in and out, and live in a virtual world. So exciting times ahead. At the place where we are sitting, a lot of businesses are struggling to even get orders. I think from our domain, there is no dearth of orders. It's only about what can we execute, what can we deliver, and where is it that we want to go. So extremely exciting times. I'm really looking forward for the next 1.5, 2 years. Very, very closely monitor the change and completely open-minded. I think it's better to accept at a lot of places that this we don't know and trying to learn, And I don't know how many of you all remember, there was this whole series of books that used to come called dummies. Dummies for Windows, dummies for Linux, dummies for this thing. If you really look back, if someone called you a dummy, you would never like it. But when it came to a domain of technology, if someone was calling you a dummy, you would still buy the book and read it because you knew that that is something which you don't understand. And again, today we are where we are. I think we have to really accept that we are not able to adopt, or most of us are not able to really understand where the change is happening, how is it happening, how fast it is happening. So it's important for us to really take step backs, do introspection, understand where we want to go, what are our strengths we want to play on, where is it that we want to invest. Everything looks exciting, but what is the most exciting in that? What is it that you want to chase? And where do you see yourself 2 to 3 years from now? So best of luck to everyone. Enjoy rest of the day at the CRN Channel Leadership Summit 2021. I'm Anuj Gupta signing off. Thank you so much.